Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. So I think that my main, other than Shanks of course, in this next set is very likely to be Yellow Kid. I really enjoy this deck. I've been a Yellow fan for a while, played a lot of Enel, played some Katakuri back when I started, but never really got on with Katakuri as well as Enel. And Captain Kid sort of fills that sort of mid-range where Katakuri is very aggressive, Enel's very defensive. Kid has a bit of both, mixed with a whole bunch of toxicity as well. Of course, trashing your opponent's life is not very fun for your opponent, and I think this list is sort of made to help beat what we think is going to be more meta in this coming set. So shout out to Ruben Trong, who runs the Chinoise Cup. This was a winning list from a 24-man, sort of a local tier event, but a winning list nonetheless, so I thought let's give this a go. Seems like a good starting place, quite a lot different from the list that I've been running in the past, and let's see how this does into the post-ban meta. So the biggest deck on everyone's mind is Blackbeard, and traditionally, Kid has struggled a lot into Blackbeard. I still think this list is not amazing into Blackbeard, but with some of them cutting into their counts of things like Black Hole, the Hawkins does inherently become a bit better, and this list having just a lot of low-cost characters, things like the Zorro, the Hawkins, and even like the Godatsu, X-Drake, and Frankie, it's a lot easier to go wide than with some of the lists that are more focused on top end like Ace. Flame Split is also really nice, not only to rest Giz Burgess if you want to potentially take him out early, but also to rest things like Vasco's shot at the end of the game, or other blockers here and there. A couple of L4 is a bit weird, haven't found a great use for this yet, but I have mostly been playing against Blackbeard for what it's worth. Everyone seems to be playing him in ranked. Got full playsets of the Nami and the Godatsu to help you deal with the aggro decks that are starting to see a bit more play. Things like Zorro and Bello Betty and so on. These are also reasonable into Bonnie, because especially the Nami is really nice for taking out their 5 costs. Full playset of the Robin to help with our aggression. If Blackbeard misplays and gives you 1 plays on 6, well, you trash their life, and that's pretty good. Couple of the Apu. I've been on 4 lately, but 2 honestly feels fine. And a full playset of the Zorro. This is not something I've really been playing in Kid, but the Rush can come up here and there, and even when it doesn't, it's a trigger body, and it's just a 3-5, which is pretty reasonable into Blackbeard. Got a lot of triggers. We've got Frankie, we've got Satori, we've got Zorro. That's like 12 trigger bodies. Frankie obviously only towards the end of the game. I think Kikunojo is something I'm interested in adding, but it is more bricks, so it would be in the spot of the Zorro, and the Zorro is of course searchable. With that said, if you've been enjoying Kid in this format, if you think Kid has a chance, let me know. If your list is massively different from this one, let me know. We will have more videos on Kid in the coming weeks, but for now, I present you a lot of games against Blackbeard. Gotta give him to Blackbeard, this should be bad. He's chosen first, interestingly. The Zorros are going to be pretty good because they have Rush. Let's keep, honestly. This is not that bad. The things to watch out for are going to be... Well, that's a nice start for him. The Black Hole is incredible at dealing with our Hawkins, because Hawkins trashing his life is obviously very good. But if he can just get rid of it with Black Hole, it negates the effect, so it's less good. Grabs a 10 beard, reasonable. Flame Split is going to be really nice towards the end of the game. At the moment, I'm just going to go with this Luffy. We'll grab the Hawkins. We may as well potentially threaten the Hawkins next turn, depending on what he does, of course. And will depend. If he reveals to us a black hole, I might not bother. But having this Luffy out to deal with that defeat is actually going to be very nice. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that. Get a Vasco shot, very reasonable. That'll be nice to rest with Flame Split later. And we also have the X-Drake for dealing with that. Hachinosu is going to trash Hachinosu. Seems sensible to me. Grabs another Lafitte. 5 on 5. Well, next time we're probably blocking with Hawkins anyway. So I don't hate, but this Robin is like terrible. Although you never know, he might let us do it. I'm going to take this first one. Honestly, no. I think these Hawkins are going to be pretty good just to spam bodies and go wide. We'll see if he wants to play out the other Lafitte for 1. I anticipate he will, given that he didn't swing 6. But you never know, I suppose. Very much down who uses the leader effect. Yeah, it doesn't. Godatsu could be okay. Unlikely to be, but it could be, I suppose. We'll go 2 on 1. See if he wants to defend this. I think I'm going to 5 into his life anyway. Maybe, are we? We kind of shouldn't. We kind of shouldn't if he defends this. He doesn't. Thankfully, it makes my life a little bit easier. Then we'll deploy the Hawkins, end the turn, use the card action, make this a blocker. ACOS Kid, he's never going to let us use this effect. But we can make it a large blocker at least, which is fine. He's going to be looking for that black hole this turn to get rid of our Hawkins for sure. He's not going to want to let us get this on-KO effect off. It's just pretty good into him, honestly. It's just pretty good. And he only has 1 attack, so if he wants to clear our Luffy, he needs the black hole first. Otherwise, I will be saving the Luffy. These little 1 costs can just come up sometimes to get you a bit of value later on. So on this next turn, grabs a Shiryu off the Lafitte. That's nothing crazy. So on this next turn, we've got options, right? We can do Zoro Zoro. Hachinosu ditching the Vasco. Grabs another 10 beard. Okay, maybe he doesn't have a removal on this Hawkins. This is Jesus, right? This is Jesus Burgess. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. If we take, we can play pretty aggressively here with the Zoros. I don't hate it. I'm presuming he doesn't have Black Hole, otherwise he would have used it. I'm going to play risky there. That's a little risky, but could pay off, and it is just Jesus, as we thought. Okay, and he does use Black Hole, so we cannot use the Robin. But we can use double Zoros, which is pretty good, if you ask me. Go 2 into 1. We could also do X-Drake and rest this Burgess and get rid of it. Do you know, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. Let's see what he does with this Lafitte. I imagine he'll let this go. You'd have to assume, right? You'd have to assume. Next turn is 8. If we do drop the Zoros this turn, we can go Hawkins plus something else on 8. Which is reasonable. Although if we go with the X-Drake and we can remove the Burgess, that would be pretty hard. So removing this is incredible. Although we are going to be making Basil a blocker, so maybe we don't need to. Let's let the Lafitte go. We can't play around Liberation, sadly. It's simply not an option. I'm unsure whether I want to go with the Zoro or the X-Drake here. I think it's the Zoros. Yeah, I think it's the Zoro. Let's go 5 and 5. He might counter this one. Gonna take. Okay. Well, do we want to play out another Zoro just to have a character? It won't go Rush, of course, but it is just a guy. Or we can swing 6-7. He has a Shiryu in hand, right? Yeah, I don't think there's much point in swing 6-7. I think we want to be as aggressive as possible. So let's go 5-5. And then just play out the Zoro to be a guy. He's going to take a... Wow, he's taking very aggressively. That's interesting. Going to give us a stronger there. Satori's a nice one. That is a trigger body. That's a good one. Big fan of that. So he's still going to be looking for that black hole to get rid of our Hawkins. I will block with it this turn 100%. I'm not going to risk it again. I cannot remember whether Liberation negates effects or not. I simply can't remember. There's Jesus Burgess. Okay. Okay, he's on 7. Does this... This doesn't negate effects. 5 into 2. I'm going to block. and trash his life. Bit of a Kuzan, not bad. If you want to clear our Luffy, yep, you got to attack with the Burgess. That's fine. And he's got 1 Don for something. Turns off our on plays. Seems sensible to me. This Satori being here is pretty good, though. He's only going to 7. Dropping... So we're on 8, so we can drop 2 things. We can go, like, Hawkins, X-Drake, or we can just go Kid. Can just go Kid. He kind of can't attack us, which is a little awkward. Because this Satori, so making Hawkins... And we can't make a blocker. I think I'm just going to go with the big guy, you know, because he doesn't really want to attack us anyway. He's going to have difficulty removing the Kid. And then this is opponent, right? So if he plays out a little blocker, we can rest it and go for game. So I'm just going to drain 1 card. Dock Q, sure. We definitely don't need this Nico Robin. That is completely useless. Just getting to draw 1 trash one's pretty nice, right? It's not bad. Not bad at all. This is my age coming out. Gonna go with the search. Not really sure what we're looking for, honestly. Kuzan is fine. It can summon back Vasco, but we can rest Vasco with the Flame Split. Who's coming back? It is indeed Vasco. Does he have another Vasco? If he has another Vasco, we might be in trouble. And we do know he has at least 1 10 teach in his hand. We do know that. This Kuzan's so good. That art is so sick, by the way. That art's incredible. Well, I mean, if you're going to give us a trigger body, I'll absolutely take it, man. I don't think you could afford to do that this turn. You knew it was there. Oh, what are we doing? I'm not going to counter this. No trigger. What do we got for 1? I don't know. Is there a 1 barrier? Are we playing barrier? We might be playing barrier. Either way, let's just do this. We'll give Satori 1,000. Rest Vasco. So that's at 7. Yeah, and there's the concede. He didn't have an event. He just had 3 2Ks. So we had the guaranteed win there. Surprisingly good, actually. Those Zoros came in clutch in the early game. The fact that he didn't see the black hole event was very fortunate for us. It let us get, like, incredible value out of our Basil Hawkins. I don't know how many they're even running now, though, to be honest. Often they're not on the full 4 at the minute, because you have to balance it with Liberation and Finger Gun. Because Finger Gun hitting 5s is just very relevant. I think that attack there, hitting the Satori, was just kind of a troll. You can't give us the trigger there, really. It's just not possible. But either way, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Well played to our opponent, and let's move on. If you're still enjoying this video, do consider leaving a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out, and you'll get more Yellow Kid content in your feed. Gonna give him to Shanks. Be interesting to see what he chooses, presumably second, and it is indeed second. This hand's not bad. Hand's not bad, but I'm not seeing Hawkins. I just love seeing Hawkins. The card is so good. Let's look for Hawkins. Okay. That's the 4th. We're all in a row. Oh man, I know I asked for Hawkins, but this is ridiculous. Let's pass it over. Oh yeah, no, nothing doing that. That is shocking, man. I'm gonna play out. I'm just gonna swing 8. We'll just swing 8. We don't need a poo yet. We can fit a poo in later. We'll pass it over there. No, stop offering me the card action. I can't make Monkey D. Luffy a blocker. I wish I could. Man, if you could make this searcher a blocker, that would be insane. 7. Yep, no trigger. It's keeping up 2 for Red Hawk. I mean, do I care if he Red Hawks my Basil? Kind of. Let's just do 6. If you want to Red Hawk my Luffy, I really don't care about that. I really don't care. What's popping? Lime juice. Why not? Deploy. Enter. Use card action. Ooh, there's a trigger there. Lovely. Love to see it. Love a good trigger. Love a good trigger. Yes, up. We swinging? We're swinging. Block. Resolve. Trash. Otama, nice one to get rid of. Nothing crazy going on. I might play out the Nami here. Get rid of this Yasop. So we've got a Don to go with the Luffy to try and find a play for next turn. We are on odds, so Kid is going to be exceptional. I do want to take a swing this turn. Let's go... We can't swing 6, right? Because of the stinky Yasop effect. So I guess we'll take this turn to play out the Apu. We're never going to get a draw off this, so let's just go with it now. Deploy, trash, Hawkins, get rid of Yasop. And then we'll do 1 Don for Apu, end the turn. Nothing doing. He could have Rayleigh this turn if he wants to remove our Nami or our Apu. That'd be very reasonable. Yep, he does remove the Apu. Seems good. I would honestly have not swung there. We'll ditch the Gadatsu. Play out the Satori. Just going to go 6 to start with leader, and then we'll go with the Captain Kid. Not going to bother swinging with either of these, unless he uses leader effect for some strange unknown reason, in which case I'll attack the Satori. He doesn't. We'll go with Kid. Use the card action. Trash a life. Getting rid of that. That's nice. That's a beige trigger. End the turn. We'll do this first. We don't need 3 of them. Use the card action. Restand this. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a nice little trigger there. Okay, big KO Shanks is good. I like big KO Shanks. I'm going to counter this one and then trigger this, I think. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I don't love having to trash a card, but I think it is worth it. We'll resolve, use the trigger, we'll ditch. I guess it's Frankie, because I think I want to use another Kid this turn. Law's reasonable for the turn after next if we just need a heal, but I think the aggression is what's going to get us there. We'll start with... We're going to be attacking for some 5s anyway, so we may as well just start with 5s. He can obviously use his leader effect, that's a freebie. Then we'll go 5 with Satori. Five with Nami, 7 with leader. We've got Kid to mix it. Okay, he's going to use that now. So we're going to drop the Kid now. Over this, use the card action, trash his last life. It's another Otama. Very reasonable. Let's go 5-7. Shanks played a lot of 2Ks, less 1Ks. So I do value doing it this way. And then he's got to give us 2 more cards here. Does indeed. Gives us 2 2Ks, as I sort of thought. End of turn. We'll do this. We don't need 2 of those. Use the card action. We'll stand him up. Or does this do this KOs at 0 cost? That's not going to be terribly useful. But we should be able to keep at least some of our characters, right? I think this Kid is going to survive. Divine Departure. Did he think that KO'd Kid? I think he thought that KO'd Kid. That doesn't KO Kid, my friend. Yeah, there's the game. He could have gone for it there, honestly. He had the dragon. It'd have been 8, 9, 9, 12. We can't counter the 8s. Yeah, in fact, he might have got it there, honestly, if he'd done the right numbers. He would have got there for sure. Damn, a little bit of a blunder from our opponent right at the end there. That was a close game, though. I think potentially me triggering the Zoro was greedy. But I did think we'd need a little more aggro than that to get him down to 0. Yeah. I think Dragon wins, right? He has 4 swings. We need to counter 3 of them. We have 1 block, but we only have 3k counter. I guess he assumes maybe this is another 2k because we ditched the Frankie off the Zoro trigger. I don't know. Either way, well played to our opponent. That was a really close one. GG's, let's move on. Another teach. What a time to be alive. Nah. It's not bad. Don't mind this hand. Don't mind this at all. Let's do Luffy. We'll grab... Definitely don't want another kid. We're just going to grab this Zoro. Turn those there. End the turn. No thanks. See what he has. Starts with the stage. Always nice. Ditching another stage is perfect. Grabs Lafitte. Are we going to play out Lafitte? Very nice. Good stuff from our opponent here. We could swing 5-5, or we could develop this Zoro. I don't hate either. I think I'm going to choose to go wide. So we'll go 5 and then develop the Zoro. No thanks. If he wants to finger gun or black hole our Zoro, it's one more card that he doesn't have for Hawkins. We're going to get to attack this Luffy at some point unless he drops .Q. But it's going to be hard for him to find the time to .Q. And if he's going to finger gun or black hole, he can't defeat. He's going to defeat, so the Zoro lives. That's excellent. We'll see what he gets off this Lafitte. Grabs. Ooh, okay. That's a spicy meatball. I'm not sure it's a good meatball, but it is a spicy meatball. Okay, we're going searching for sure. We go up to 10 teach with the stage. This is my age. We're going to find out what his age is. I reckon his age is about 100. Resolve. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, let's use that. We'll ditch this law. Triggers into Blackbeard are always so good. Just because this aggression is what you need into them. It's really what you need. What did he draw? He drew feet. Yeah, it's not scary at all. We're going to go with Hawkins this turn. We'll make that a blocker. So let's start with Luffy 2 into 1. Cool. Let's go 5 into 1. I do want to get rid of these Lafitte so we can't have infinite value. Don't hate keeping Flame Split, but I'm happy to kind of just block with the Hawkins. If he's going to do 7 into one of our dudes, though. Well, if you're going to do 7 into one of our dudes, he's going to do 7 into one of our dudes. We don't have any fucking count. We've got this Flame Split, and that's it. So I guess we're just going 5, 6, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah, we're at least going to sap a couple cards here, which is reasonable. And if he doesn't have Black Hole, this Hawkins are going to be incredibly annoying. Law, not going to change the world. He's fine. I might just play him out next turn as a 7-9. I very much doubt our opponent gives us the on play, but I guess you never know. He's going to ditch the .Q, no doubt looking for that Black Hole. Just gets a 10 beard. That's reasonable, though. That's going to be good for later, obviously. And a couple turns time here. Liberation is going to be good. That is strong. And he's not going to attack. Not going to let us use our Hawkins effect. Fair enough. Fair enough. Liberation is a very nice one there. Probably going to get the value out of the Luffy now. Interesting that he gave us our on plays. It's very frustrating that we only have Kid and don't have Law. Or Robin. Robin would just be so bananas here. I think this is a really significant misplay from our opponent. But it simply doesn't matter because we can't do anything about it. So, hey, there you go, I guess. Let's go 5 with Luffy now. I think I'm going to get the value while we can. Going to give us a Burgess. And we'll go 5 with Hawkins. I'm sure he'll counter this one as well. Nope. Let's go 6 with Leader. He must be looking to counter something. Yeah, okay. And then we'll deploy the Zoro. Obviously not going to gain Rush, but still going to be a character that is on the board. Okay, he has the Black Hole to remove the Hawkins. That's pretty good. Maybe can't remove our Zoro, though. Never mind, gets another one. Can remove our entire board. You hate to see it. Yep, we can't do much about that. Yeah, and then Black Hole removes our Zoro, but he's going to be very low on cards. Which is one thing that can be said. Do we want to develop Kid this turn? Or multiple characters? Multiple characters, right? It's always multiple characters. Because he's heavily incentivized to drop 10 beard. On this upcoming turn. Yeah, so I think we're going to go with multiple. We're going to go with the Gedatsu and the Zoro. So we'll swing 7 here. If he has another liberation, I mean, so be it. It is what it is. Then next turn we'll probably drop the kid, presuming he just does 10 teach. Fuck. I'm only on 9 dom. Well, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Wow. That is such a significant difference. I can't believe that. That is unbelievable. What an idiot, man. What an idiot. I just thought I was on 10 dom. Not gonna lie. Okay, though, he's not going with 10 teach. We're going with Kuzan. Who's going out? Burgess? Burgess. Stronger. 5 on 5. Yeah, I'll take one. We're very high on life at the minute. And then this is, yeah, finger gun to remove Godarsu. Okay, pretty good. He didn't give us on plays. No, he did use Black Hole. I thought he might have forgot there for a minute, but he didn't. Right, now we're going to go with multiple characters. Can't believe I did that last turn. That was awful. So this is, we're definitely on 10. We can definitely do Godarsu plus Zoro. So now we can go 7. Let's attack for 7. He's likely to take this. Unless he actually has an event for 1. Looks like he doesn't. Now let's do the play I was trying to do last turn. I don't want to make Zoro a blocker. Just go, no thank you. I don't want to give him the knowledge of whether there's a trigger in our life as well. Because if there's a trigger in our life, that could change the game. That could 100% change the game. Dot Q coming down. There's 10 teach. I don't think it's going to be enough, right? Maybe it is. It could be, potentially. He's going to ditch the other 10 teach. I'm not going to take this one. We'll take the other one. We'll take the Burgess swing. No trigger. So we've got 3 cards. Our split is 10-10. Chance of him having 2k, 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 extremely low. So let's just go with it. Take the risk. If he has 3 2s, I mean he has 3 2s. It is what it is, right? This should 100% be a block here. And then we'll just swing 10 and see what happens. Cool. It was not, in fact, 3 2s. The chance of it being 3 2s is so low. They only play around 7. Either way, wait, I don't know why it says he wins at the end here. But well played to our opponent. That was a pretty close one. Even with my massive blunder on that one turn where I forgot to pay out the Zoro. We were able to get there. And he made a massive blunder as well. On that turn where we went to 7, he gave us the option of like Law and or Robin. Especially Robin. That was a really bad play. But he made it close. But we got there in the end. Well played to our opponent. Let's move on. There is a lot of Blackbeard on the ladder at the minute. I am only facing Blackbeard decks. This is reasonable. Yeah, it's reasonable. It's reasonable. Cool, we'll just pass it over. I'm not playing out a poo. For him to just dot Q it. Interestingly, he had nothing on 1. No Lafitte. No stage. Nothing like that. I'd say that's probably a good sign. Yeah, I'll take this first one. What does this do? KO. No trigger. Might be nice later, though. You never know. Vasco, going to be good later on for us to rest with Flame Split. If we can get it. Let's do 5-5. Then we'll drop Hawkins. Force him to have the black hole. He's had absolutely no search for it. So, decent chance he doesn't have it, I would say. But I'm sure he could easily have it, right? If it's just finger gun, then that's obviously less valuable to him. Less valuable. Because then we'll get to trash his life. Which is what I want to do anyway, right? My main goal is just to trash his life, so it's pretty reasonable. If he gives us our on plays, we can Godarsu this Vasco next turn. I very much doubt he will give us on plays. But it's worth noting that we can Godarsu the Vasco if he does. The more threatening play for him would be... Okay, Kuzan is in... This is a bad play now because of this Robin, right? Yeah, I can't believe he gave us on plays there. That is insane. That's insane. Let's go 5-5 and then just play out Robin. If he takes this first one, we would have used the Robin now, but we can just wait till he gets down to 3 to use it. Give him slightly less intel on what we're doing. I mean, if you... Like, bro, if you want to attack the Kuzan into my Hawkins, it's all good, man. Let's trash your life. Ooh, that's a nice one to get rid of as well. Liberation. That's a really good card. I always forget that this doesn't negate. It's weird how the Black Hole one does, but this one doesn't. And I believe the Black Hole is leader locked, and this isn't. Which again, it's just kind of weird, but it's just something I'll have to learn. 7 Don, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do. This Robin is kind of an annoying number. 6 cost is pretty frustrating for him to deal with. What's this Hawk? This Kuzan's going to turn into a Van Augur? Probably. But if he like just removing Hawkins, do I care? We don't have a 2k anyway. That's kind of a bummer. Let's just take. I wouldn't be too surprised to see him swing. Okay, it's just 5-0 counter. We'll give... He's never going to give us on plays this turn, right? If he is going to give us on plays, I'd rather do Kid than Godatsu, so we'll ditch the Godatsu. In case he just, like, griefs and gives us on plays. But I very much doubt he will. Kuzan cycling out into Van Augur. Van Augur plus a 4-cost event. Yep, Finger Gun. Fair enough. And another Vasco. Okay. And then we do see the leader effect. But he's getting pretty low on cards, which is interesting. If we just drop, like, Hawkins, he's not going to want to remove anything with Van Augur, so it becomes useless. We can also drop a Poo, because the Van Augur doesn't do anything into a Poo either, because it's a 1-cost. So yeah, here I don't hate going, like, Van Augur, Zorro a Poo. Yeah, I don't hate that. That's all I've done. I think that's fine. Let's go start with 5 with Hawkins. 5 with Hawkins seems reasonable. Cool, he's going to take, gets an event trigger, nothing too crazy. Black Hole's a good one though, can get rid of one of our Hawkins. Then we'll go 5 and 5 once more. Gives us the new Shiryu. Then we'll go with this. We'll go with this. And we'll go with this. And we'll end the turn, use the card action, stand this one up. He can, of course, negate its effect with the Black Hole. But it is what it is, right? There's no point us making this one a blocker because it's already standing up. He's never going to attack into this Hawkins. There's simply no way he lets us do that. And yeah, we do... Okay, we see double Black Hole. That's a pretty good turn, actually. And then maybe we will see 6-6. 6-6 is reasonable. I'm going no blocker resolve. He might not want to use his leader effect. I think we're just ditching the opponent. No, I think we're taking. I'm not sure he's going to want to use his leader effect. It's a weird one, right? It's a weird one. I don't know what to think. Alright, ditches a Jesus. This has to be a teach. This absolutely has to be a teach. There's just no way. So we just want to go as wide as possible, right? I think he searched for a teach earlier, but I'm honestly not 100%. And he has got a teach in the bin, although I think that was off of This Is My Age. So what's the widest we can go this turn? Because that's what we're going to want. I think I'm going to keep 1 for L4. We go like Hawkins, Luffy, Zoro, Apu. And keep 1 for L4. So that's 7, 8, 9. So we have 1 Don. Honestly, that's kind of fine. We'll go 5, 6. No, we only need to play 3 characters because our board is full. So I guess it's Hawkins, Luffy, Zoro. And we don't play the Apu. 4, 7, 8. Yeah, cool. And then we've got 1 for L4. Let's go 6 here. Demand that he has a 2k or he gives us one of these blockers. Gives a strong. Okay, did have a stronger. It's pretty good, right? Could we have got Rush with this Zorro? Shit, I think we could have done. We could have got Rush with this Zorro. That is a big blunder. Wow. Never mind. We use the card action, stand this up. That is a lovely trigger. Wow, that is incredible. That's incredible. That's a tough one, my man. He's not going to want to attack. I guess we could have made the Hawkins a blocker as well. The reason I chose to make the Zorro a blocker is just so he can't attack into it. But if we made the Hawkins a blocker and he attacks the Zorro, I guess we trash the life. Although he can 10-beard the Hawkins to negate its on KO. So, I mean, I don't know. Not 100%. And he does have a lot of blockers here, so there's no guarantee we win this turn. Even if this is just 10-beard. There's no guarantee at all, but we've got a reasonable shot at it, I think. I do think there's a reasonable shot. Okay, it's not going to be 10-beard. It's going to be Shiryu plus something else. Remains to be seen what that something else is. He does get rid of our Zorro, which is reasonable. I don't know what this card is. My gut says 10-beard, right? My gut says 10-beard. I mean, we haven't poo, right? Is there any... What can he do to get rid of this Apu? We have L4, so there's no danger. We're never going to die, even if he can remove this Apu. So let's go no blocker at resolve, use the trigger. We get another L4, which is not crazy, but it is a card that's reasonable. We'll just block with Apu here. Are we ever using this? We're never attacking with this, right? Are we? Maybe we are. I think we're going for game regardless, so we can... If he doesn't... I'm just going to block. It's like, if he doesn't ditch the... Whether or not he uses his leader effect here is going to be interesting as well, right? Because we do have this Captain Kid, which can trash his life. He just concedes. Yeah, it didn't matter. We had the win either way. We just start with 5 he has to take, and then from there it's like 5, 5, 5. Lots. GG's. Maybe this matchup isn't quite as terrible as I thought. I'm good on the rematch. We're playing ranked, but GG's. I've played against a lot of Blackbeard today as well. So, thank you for watching. Lots of Blackbeard, right? I'm still learning the matchup. It's changed quite a bit with the introduction of the Kuzan and the Liberation. And the changing counts. Obviously, they're not playing Laboon anymore. And they're sometimes playing less copies of Black Hole. It's going to take me a couple of days to adjust, I think, to these new lists. However, we're getting there, and I think we didn't play too terribly. Apart from in a couple of spots where... At least I highlighted my mistakes, right? It could be worse. Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.